IT hardware. Let's talk a little bit about hardware. What is a computer? Well, for all of you out there who want to build a computer, whether it's for gaming or just have a really great computer, I mean, I love video editing and processing large amounts of video that I take. So my goal eventually is to build my own computer. All you really need is 5 parts to build a computer. Now, yes, this does not include a monitor because yes, you do need to be able to see what's going on in there. This doesn't include a mouse. I mean, but if you have these 5 components, you have a computer. So what is the motherboard? Well, it's the glue that holds everything together. Like these parts that go on the motherboard, right? That just holds everything together. The CPU is the central processing unit. This is the brain of the computer. This is what does the calculations. You could say I overclocked my CPU, and meaning like I'm pushing it to the brink, right? Just doing complex calculations. If you open up your calculator on your computer and do 2 plus 2, you're accessing your CPU. The GPU is the graphics processing unit, which this generates the graphics displayed on the monitor. So GPU, this is in hot demand for those who want to do a lot of gaming on the computer, and for me who likes to edit videos a lot, for cryptocurrency and all that. That is also in addition, right? So this is what, if you have a good GPU, you're gonna have good graphics essentially. Your RAM is your random access memory. So think of the storage, which we'll get into, as your long-term memory, and RAM is your short-term memory. So when Google Chrome opens up a million tabs, I mean, Google Chrome is nefarious for just killing your RAM. I mean, it's crazy with all the extensions and everything. It just destroys your RAM, and if your RAM is being used up, it makes things slower, right? If you only have one tab open and you're doing not a lot, well, you're not going to be using a lot of RAM. Short-term memory, which stores frequently accessed programs. Whereas your storage, this is where you store your pictures, you store your files, everything like that. It's a long-term memory of the computer, which stores all of the data. You got to know you can either have a solid-state drive or a hard disk drive. This is the older technology. This is the newer technology. There's pros and cons to everything. Solid-state drive is quicker. Right? I'm just not going to get into that. I'm giving you what you need to know. I could talk computers all day. It's a good time. But this is what you got to know. Study it. Make sure you know the components of a computer. Let's talk IT networking. I mean, I know I mentioned a server before, but we're going to get into more of what makes up IT networks. Some of this is more hardware. Some of this is software and just components of the IT network. What's a router? Well, this is a device that communicates between the internet and the devices in your home that connect to the internet. So you do have a router in your house if you have internet, and if that's how you're watching this. As the name implies, it routes traffic between the devices in the internet. So, and this is also what assigns you your IP address. Again, this is the connector, right, that connects your device and the internet, connects your iPad to what you're watching on Netflix. That's what a router does. Now, what is an IP address? IP address is the unique address that identifies a device on the internet or a local network. So yeah, I mean, you can look up your own IP address on the computer. I'm not going to go over how to do that, but yes, you all have your own individual IP address. You might have heard this in TV shows, right? Oh, find their IP address, and hacking or security, something like that. IP stands for Internet Protocol, which is the set of rules governing the format of data sent via the internet or a local network. So that is what tags you. It's so okay if you're trying to buy a pair of shoes that are just dropping right now on Nike, right? The website makes sure that you're trying to buy 2 pairs of shoes, and that IP address is the same. So we're not going to sell you 2 pairs of shoes to that IP address. So maybe you go and log in on your phone. The IP address is also what tells you, hey, you're in Germany, so you can't access US Netflix. We'll get into VPNs and all that good stuff. Now, what is a gateway? Well, a gateway, this is going to be a device that sits between different networks or applications. I'm just going to say it, a home Wi-Fi router effectively doubles as a gateway. So this is what you can think of as we're reading this. This gateway converts information, data, or other communications from one protocol or format to another. An internet gateway can transfer communications between an enterprise network and the internet. Now, this is right. Just think of it just like a gateway, right? You got a gate. I mean, these names didn't just come out of nowhere. Passes through the gate. Information passes through the gate, and again sits between the actual application and the different networks there. Just got to be familiar with generally what this does. You don't have to be a computer expert, although if you choose to do so, all the power to you. What about a server? Okay, well, I mean, and with all of this, right? There's much more to it. It's much more nuanced. This is what the AI CPA wants you to know about these particular items. So, I did go through all of this with a computer science guru, and yes, these are limited definitions, but this is what the AI CPA wants you to know, and we're not going to overkill here. The server is a system that provides resources, data, so it provides a bunch of things. Data, services, programs, right? You could have a server hosting pictures, all of your Microsoft Office. It could host your slides, such as what I'm providing with you here, right? And these are just big computers. Servers are just big computers, right? There's a big farm, like a computer farm, say out in the Midwest somewhere, right? Just where there's a lot of land. All these computers sit there, and instead of you hosting all of your pictures and files and data on your own computer and then, get stolen or broken, and everything's gone, well, now you just access it through the cloud, right? Through the cloud and through Google Drive or Apple, whatever you use. This is your computer, and it's just an outsourced computer. You are the client, right? Your computer is the client computer, and there's a network here. In theory, whenever computers share resources with client machines, they're considered servers. So if you're storing something on your own computer at home, well, that's a server. You can use your own laptop as a server. That's totally possible. That's what a server is. It's just a computer that shares resources with client machines. With many types of servers, including web servers, mail servers, virtual servers, right? Your email is stored on a server. Essentially just a hard drive that you can access through the internet. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. You're now becoming more adept at what we've got to know for IT networking. Lastly, we've got switches. Now, a switch, this is a device in a computer network that connects other devices together. Multiple data cables are plugged into a switch to enable communication between different networked devices. Switches manage the flow of data across a network by transmitting a received network packet only to the one or more devices for which the packet is intended. So it's the on and off switch. It's the on and off switch for the flow of data between devices. That is what a switch does. Awesome. Let's keep moving along. Hey there. Are you ready to not only pass your CPA exams, but truly understand and enjoy the material while studying? I know it seems impossible, right? Especially to enjoy the material? We'll do it together. Tap into the power of CPA.examprep.ai, where we've got personalized quizzes, multiple choice questions, memorization guides, flashcards, simulations, all tailored to your learning. Our adaptive study planning puts you on the fastest path to success and lifts you back up if you fall behind. Avoid wasting your precious time and money attempting an exam with a low chance of passing, because who wants that? We want to get you through this process as quick as possible. Our exam readiness prediction lets you walk in with confidence, knowing that you're prepared for success on exam day. Thankfully, there's no payment method needed to get started, so why don't you come join us? Visit cpa.examprep.ai and let's achieve your exam success together.